What's up? What's up, queens and kings? Do I have a co-host today?
Oh, yes, ma'am. But I guess because I didn't hear the music. It threw me off. I didn't hear the music. So that's what threw me. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. What's up, queens and queens?
What's going on?
Welcome
My
back
bad.
to another amazing, fun, and exciting edition of Their POV with Nick and King. We are your host, Nikki Johnson.
And I am the King Harrington. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing?
It's real, y'all, behind these technology streets.
You ain't never lied. You ain't never
I
lied.
don't even understand the stuff that happens literally seconds and minutes before we go on. But we are so glad you guys have joined us today. We already have comments coming through. Sissy says, hey, y'all, what's up, Queen? Miss Pam, what's going on, Pamela?
Okay, I don't get to see any of that, what you saying, so I don't know why.
Why can you not see it, King? What's going on now?
Oh, no, because I don't know. I mean.
That's okay. Listen, you have a phone.
Yes.
Turn
okay,
notifications off. You can still see it. But look, it's on the screen. How about this? Don't worry about it. We put it on the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, hey, peeps. Once again, you guys have no idea what happens right before we say we're live, but it doesn't even matter.
Yes, because we're going to do this.
Yes,
we're going to do this show, and it's going to be nice. It's going to be on popping. So that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm ready. I'm ready to do this, Nick. So let's jump off with the weekend. How was your weekend?
Talk a little bit louder for me, Ken.
I'm sorry. How was your weekend?
My weekend was so much fun. I had a great weekend.
Okay.
And I got in this morning.
Oh, no. Okay.
I had a really great weekend. I did.
I guess you did coming in this morning.
I did.
Okay. All right.
Some great time with some great friends. It was awesome. I got a whole lot of stuff accomplished because I got some things popping off next month that I need to be ready for. Next month is vacation because, you know, your girl works hard. So I'm getting ready for vacation. Now, how was your weekend, King?
It was good. I mean, I did a little, what I do? Let me make sure what I do. Saturday, what did I do?
That's when you have a good weekend, you don't know what you did.
No, it wasn't like that. I went to the Rock where I used to Rockingham, and I hooked up with my boy. One of my boys was from school, high school. We had lunch at Captain D's, and he got a '65 Mustang. Nice. Yeah, I mean it's vintage. We were talking about that and stuff. And this guy, he came out, he gave him some serious information. He used to work it for Ford. So he told him all about the car that actually Lee Iacocca was the one that designed it when he was an engineer at Ford. Yeah, so it was real cool. But it was real nice. So I spent time with him, hung out with him for a minute. Then I hung out with my cousin Joy at her grandma's house because she takes care of grandmother, when she's not working. So I did that, and then I just mosey on back to the crib.
That sounds nice. You was with your peeps, and I know you love cars, so I know you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah. Oh, man. He already told me and him going to ride down to the park over in Southern Pines, which is like about 30 minutes away. Go ahead and get a little some chairs, sit back, chill, and let the people ride by and ask questions.
Love the floss. All right, well, let's make sure we are sharing, King. If you have not, I'm going to ask you to do it too.
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure everybody knows that we are now live. Have a watch party. Invite your peeps to watch with us. And we have to do our shout outs, King.
I'm going to let you go first, Nick. Please. Because we already know who you're going to we're going to talk about, so why
get it done? And you're still going to hate. So listen, I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh, you shouldn't do
Shout out to my future husband, whoever you are, wherever you are, love. I cannot wait to meet you. Shut up, King. I know you are somewhere praying and preparing for me. And guess what, baby? I'm doing the same.
I can attest to that, bro. I can attest to that, bro. She is definitely waiting for you to reach out and let her know that you are.
That sounded desperate. Hold on, fix that. No, Nikki ain't desperate. Don't do that.
I ain't saying you desperate. I just said, Nick, all I said was that brother that's worthy of you. Saying that understands
like how you fixing it up.
The culture of a beautiful black woman that he is definitely finding, looking, he's searching. My man said, St. Glenn Jones, I've been searching. See what I'm saying? That's what he thinking about. And you let him know he just ain't connected yet. It ain't got there.
We ain't connected yet, but whenever we do.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fire, girl.
Yeah, an amazing woman waiting on him. Okay, you done cleaned it up. So what about you? Go ahead and do your shout out.
Okay, let me give my shout out to my beautiful Nubian queen, my wife, Shakita Harrington, she went to church this morning, y'all. She looked it. Oh my God, she looked it lovely. She came with that dress and them heels. I said, okay, girl. All right, man. I didn't get to check the dress where you left, but you good. You know what I'm saying?
I need you to grab the paper towel and get the little cracks of your mouth where you're salivating on that.
She was looking good. Nice. She was like, hey, yeah, you know.
She looked good.
Exactly. She was looking great. So, baby.
Pam is agreeing with you on what you were saying about me.
Okay. Hey, Tom, I ain't trying to be mean. I know there's somebody out there for us. He gonna find her. She ain't gonna find him. He gonna find her.
I'm just saying fix it because nobody thinking I'm desperate.
Oh, no, man. Far from that.
Period. But, so listen, we have some fantastic topics that we're going to be talking about today. I have no idea what's going on with this microphone once again. It's either in my mouth too much or it won't stay up, but whatever. The first thing we're going to be hitting today, of course, you can see above our heads the title.
Yes.
Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
All righty. So the first topic we're going to hit today is, should Phylicia Rashad receive backlash for supporting Bill Cosby?
For sure.
I'm gonna let you hit that first, King.
Hey, you know what? Excuse me. I think people are misconceiving.
Oh, I'm sorry, King. Hold on, it's my fault. Let me lay foundation before I put the question out. Gotcha. So, for those of you who do not know, I believe it was June the 3rd. Bill Cosby was released from his 10-year sentence where he had served 3. I want to make sure I say it right, so let me pull it up. Because, I don't want to be giving no falsehoods.
Right.
Okay, so Philadelphia, basically, when the court ruled that a non-prosecution agreement that was previously done with him should have stopped him from basically having to ever go to court, period.
Exactly.
We know that did not happen because he did go to court. He was convicted. He was given 10 years and did serve 3. That ruling was overturned and he was released in late June. Recently, and let me put our comments up so we don't do any hearsay.
Right.
Recently, when he was released, Phylicia Rashad did release the following statement. She said, finally, a terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected. Because of a lot of backlash that she received. She later did make this statement. I fully support survivors of sexual assault coming forward. My post was in no way intended to be insensitive to their truth. Personally, I know from friends and family that such abuse has lifelong
residual.
I'm going to say residential.
Residual
effects. And my heartfelt wish is for healing. Now, that was released after Howard University, where she is the dean of the Fine Arts Department, I believe.
Yeah, Fine Arts Department.
Okay, so they started receiving a lot of backlash because with her being a dean of fine arts, they felt like she was not a great representation of the college and wanted them to actually take a stand, is the way it interpreted to me. This was their statement. You want to read that one?
Sure. Survivors of sexual assault will always be our priority. While Dean Rashad has acknowledged her follow-up tweet that victims must be heard and believed, her initial tweet lacked sensitivity towards survivors of sexual assault. Personal positions of university leadership do not reflect Howard University's policies. We will continue to advocate for survivors fully and support their right to be heard. Howard will stand with survivors and challenge systems that would deny them justice. We have full confidence that our faculty and school leadership will live up to this sacred commitment. We lost your audio. Nick.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Okay. Out there. Okay. So the thing about this situation that King and I were talking about is actually, King, I'm gonna wait to let you go first.
Hey, ain't no problem.
How I feel about this. Go ahead.
You know me. Hey, I ain't got a problem with it. Everybody, this is my thoughts. When she made the statement about him, it was a good case, as far as justice is being served, I understood what she meant. She meant the part of them messing over Bill Cosby in the way they did him, as far as the justice system, as far as the way that they did, as far as him going to jail. if they wouldn't have did it that way, and then it would the trial would have been fair, then we can respect that. And that comment would have never came out of her mouth. And for people to misconceive that she was talking about the assault part, no, she never meant no disrespect to the sexual assault. She understood that.
Let's put this disclaimer out there.
Okay.
Well, first of all, we have to do our first disclaimer. Forgot to do this one. But we want to make it known, neither of us are going to discuss his guilt or innocence.
Right, exactly.
We are not talking about the victims. We are not saying anyone is false or true. That is not what we're discussing. We are solely talking about Phylicia Rashad's comment and her support of her friend and what she felt was justified or not. And that's what we're going to focus on. And the backlash that she's receiving. Go ahead, Keith.
Right. And I'm just saying, you know, I feel that, you know, by them not understanding what she meant as far as just him, you know, getting his right in court, as far as them doing him wrong the way they did it, you know, them submitting that information, which they weren't supposed to do. That was her point of view. It's like, I'm glad he was able to get right from that. And, you know, justice was served. I said, other than that, she never meant no disrespect about the sexual assault part. We never looked at it like that. I understand, Bill, you know, that's what happens. Oh, well, we're talking about the government still messing over people. That's, you know what I'm saying? And he got messed over. He got a bad trial. And that's what we're saying. That was just and then for her to say the statement she did based on the trial part, to come at her and act like she had no regard towards the sexual assault part. That's my whole thing. I just felt that I'm glad that he got a just, fair trial and that they had to do what they had to do to turn over, because if they would have did it the right way, it would have been a whole different outcome. You know what I'm saying? If it would have been a fair trial, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It'd be a different type of conversation. But since they wanted to mess him over, you know, Bill Cosby's, you know, prominent man, done things over the years, you know what I'm saying, and upright. And for him to get that type of treatment, which a lot of people do, and it's sad that we can't get fair treatment, period. You know what I'm saying? In the court system. Can't get fair treatment. And that was just jacked up. And for them to come at her because of that statement, based on that, I feel was wrong. You're using it?
Yeah. So I'm going to slide it back over to Phylicia. I'm not going to, you know, talk about Bill. What I do want to say is this. That was her friend. Okay. And she felt that there was some injustice because of the non-prosecution.
Right.
She also felt some other things, but she made that statement, and I didn't take the statement as a condemnation on the alleged victims.
Exactly.
I didn't take that at all.
Me either. Yeah.
The problem is that media made it that. She literally went from making a statement of support to having to now defend her thoughts on victims and sexual abuse. And that was, to me, in no way what she was saying. And in cancel culture, everybody had to rush to some type of statement. Howard University was pressured. I'm sure all of her PR people were pressured. Now we have to turn around and say X, Y, and Z. And I believe I put up another. Yeah. So this is another statement that she made. Dear students and parents, of course, this was to the university. And I'm sorry, guys, it was so blurry, but I couldn't get it to pull up any other way. This week, I tweeted a statement that caused so much hurt in so many people, both broadly and inside the Howard community. I offer my most sincere apology. I have since removed that upsetting tweet. I am sorry, and I intend to earn your trust and your forgiveness. So now we go from her original statement of support to having to defend and literally having to defend herself, her position at the university, her character. You know, they made it almost the East Coast, West Coast thing. They pit her against all sexual assault victims now. And that's not what the statement was. I was sharing with King, you guys, that my biggest, I guess, upset about a situation like this is, when is it that because they Howard, or people felt like she represented Howard, now she has to, it's on the chopping block if she's going to continue to be the dean.
Right.
When does what you do in your personal life stop crossing over into your professional life? Okay. So do y'all remember, what's his name, Kim? I'm going to pull it up because I always say his name wrong.
God, my boy, Boston Celtics.
I got it. I'm gonna get it. Hold on. I purposefully pulled this up. Now I can't find it. Isn't that something?
Oh God.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah, Paul Pierce.
When
Yeah.
Paul Pierce, I think it was back in April.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know he worked for ESPN, and he did Instagram Live while he had some dancers and some strippers up at his crib, along with a whole bunch of friends and co-workers while they were playing poker and drinking, and women were there making their money. Because he posted that, he lost his position at ESPN within minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it was unceremonial. He was unceremonially fired.
Right.
The crazy part about it is and this is not a condoning of what he did, but if you watch the video, nobody was being hurt. The women were having a good time. Women were making their money. The men were playing poker and drinking. Nobody was hurt, and there was nothing inappropriate. Now, granted, you don't really want to see people shaking their thing, even though they were still dressed, all on the camera, but you see that now in a regular video. The fact that he lost his job because of that, because they said he was representing ESPN, but he wasn't at work doing it. I didn't see ESPN on anything he had on. I didn't see him say this is sponsored by ESPN. This was him at home. So this was her making her own personal statement. But because she is a dean at Howard,
Right.
because of that statement and the pressure that they received, she may no longer be in that position. When does what someone is doing in their personal life stop affecting their professional if no one is being harmed? Now, it's not the same as old boy from Subway who was
yeah, we understand.
Yeah, that was
right.
hurting kids, and that's wrong. But if it's not hurting someone else and you're not receiving the pressure from the cancel culture to do something, why are these people having to lose their job and their whole character is questioned over something like that? So that's my view on it at this point. Go ahead.
But you know what, Nick? Yeah, I just thought about that when you said that. You know, in a sense, it's crazy, but I understand it because when I was in the military, it basically runs the same way. When happens, like you said, once you take your uniform, you in your house, you on your stuff, and you can still get in trouble as being a soldier of part of the United States Armed Forces if you do something wrong, even out of uniform. So it carries on that you still represent as like basically signing the contract says, okay, you not belong in the military. Yeah, we belong. But you know, when we signed that contract, the United States Army, when I did anything that I did represented the United States Army. I don't care what it was. If I was by myself, anything that I did. So if I was out camera, like what Paul did. If I'd have been somewhere and I'm sitting there, the women, this and that, and some E6 or the colonel or lieutenant would have seen that in my unit, oh, I'd have seen the bad one. And like you said, mind you, this is weekend. This is Saturday afternoon, and I'm in my house, and you know I'm not on no military computer. I'm on my camera, but guaranteed, if somebody from my unit, somebody of some rank would have seen that, they'd have definitely come. Now, what they probably would have did might not have been to the extreme, but they would have called me in the office and definitely let me know, hey, what I seen was not contrary as a soldier at all.
Right.
And so, you know, there we go. You fall into that category. Right. Like you said, when did that line drop? But once I became a soldier for the whole 20 years I might have been in there, regardless if I got the uniform on or not.
Right. You and I talked about this before. My question to you then is the same thing as it is now. When you went into it, you knew that, right?
Honestly,
They make that perfectly clear?
When I went in, they let you know you represent the United States Army and this and that. But see, it was never a point that if you did this, you know, most of the time it's the uniform. You know, you can't do this in your uniform, you can't do that in your uniform.
Now that I totally understand.
Exactly. But you was never told to the extent if you was out of uniform and you did something that you could actually get in trouble. That was like and see, back then we didn't have no phones, no camera phones, nothing like that.
Right.
So it would have been to the point like trial and error. So if we would have been the party and somebody got in trouble and this and that, okay, now we understand. So it was that type of situation when I was in. So
let's hit that for a second. Let's hit that for a second.
Okay.
Let's just say that Paul Pierce did the video that we're talking about that went viral.
Right.
And in several shots, some type of ESPN logo, something like that was in the shot. Let's say he had on the shirt that had ESPN and whatever, then yes, you have now mixed the brand that you represent and work for in with your shenanigans. That's not what happened.
No.
Let's also say that somebody was harmed, like he was making a video, but those women were there unwillingly. Okay, that's something different, right? Let's say someone in the military is in their uniform and they're doing something, hitting their wife or she's robbing the bank or whatever. Absolutely. But if it's not in the contract, well, forget the contract. Where is the line is fine. When does it stop?
Well, Nick, that's what I'm saying. With the military,
because but here's the thing, though, King. It's determined on if the pressure came to ESPN because of the video.
Right.
If no one would have said anything, I don't think that man would have lost his job, because I still feel like, because if you watch it a couple of times,
that's the whole thing.
Sure he does not show the people the guys that are there on camera.
That was the whole thing. Like you said, it ain't the caliber of what he did. It was because somebody told, and he represents them. Like I said,
but it's the pressure. It's the cancel culture.
And that's what's going to happen. That's the same thing in the Army. I can sit there and have strippers at my house. I'm off duty. This is Saturday. I'm chilling. I have some strippers at my crib. You know what I'm saying? We up there, we bouncing in the whole nine. Like you said, ain't no uniform in place. I don't see not one award in the background. And you don't see nothing that you know that I'm in the Army. But, Nick, if somebody told on me in the military, I will get in trouble, because what is now becoming of a soldier. And I know I'm a military soldier, and it's just how I know some E6s and E7s. Their whole weight, they got in trouble for stuff they did outside, because like you said, they had that same thing. But hold up, I don't even live on post. I live in my own crib. Nothing to do with the Army, but the Army tells you. And like I said, after you've been in that long, you understand anything you do, whether you're in a uniform, out of uniform, on post, off post, on vacation. Right. If you do anything that they feel that can get you in trouble, and you might think it's cool, you just know that's the limitation. Until you
you just said the key. You said the Army tells you, and then
no. What I'm saying is, but that's after the fact.
But that's after the fact. They drilled it into you, because you kind of said it at the beginning too, that they kind of own you. So you do know that what you do is going to be scrutinized. But take away the Army, though. We're talking about ESPN.
Yeah, but we're still talking about an organization, Nick, that you work for, that you actually, in a sense, represent, even with your character outside of the uniform, outside in front of the camera, as an analyst. You still, when people see you, when you walk down the street, they look at your face. Besides knowing Paul Pierce was a basketball player, he is an analyst for ESPN. So they still take that in consideration, because you're still a part of the show. Now, if you're a former ESPN analyst, you don't work for him, hey, they ain't gonna look at it like, well, he used to work for ESPN. No.
Now, let me throw this at you, King. Okay. I'm gonna throw this at you, because we talked about this before. Remember why they hired Paul Pierce too? This is not like this was so out of character, right? So sometimes people are hired for the sensationalism. They know you can bring ratings. They know you can go a little off or whatever.
Right.
So it's not like this was a button down type of company or show or anything like that, where that was so outrageous. But I just have to stand on how I feel about this. When is the line drawn? Because the man didn't do anything that was harming anyone. All the people in the video were participants. There were even guys that were giving out their Instagram handles. So it's not like anybody was held against the will. He did anything harmful. He literally shot a video, right? Now, granted, he works for ESPN. I don't think his whole life is sold to or represents ESPN. What you do when you're on your job, what you do when they send you out on an assignment, and if he would have had something that represented ESPN, then yeah, you were wrong, because now you have misrepresented this company. But you can't own me. Hold on one second. We have a bunch of comments coming in. You want to read that one from William? Yeah,
William said, as an educator, I have to watch everything I do online. Good question, Nikki. And I mean, it's a good question, but like you said, the same thing he's saying, educate. And like I said, when you thought about that, when you said about Paul, I mean, you got to think about, look at Shaq. Shaq do some crazy stuff. Shaq do some wild stuff. One thing Shaq didn't do while he been at ESPN, he never did anything out of character off and on the screen.
Well, okay, but that's relative, love. Let me tell you why.
But I'm just saying,
the moment Shaq ties his shoe the wrong way, somebody could say you need to fire him.
But see,
and the pressure from cancel culture will probably fire him. So you may not think Shaq has done something wrong. Shaq probably I mean, I'm not putting this on Shaq. This is your example. Well, let's just say Shaq has, but nobody deemed it fireable. But the moment that he does something that people get offended by,
right,
he's going to lose all that he's worked for that one situation. Whatever happened to probation? Whatever happened to what is it called when you get
I mean, I can understand that like you said, suspension and stuff. And I mean, and see, Nick, that's I understand where you're coming from. But see, at the same thing, we know when we take these jobs.
Good evening, Edward. Go ahead, I'm listening.
When we take these high level positions and how there's so much in the public eye and how people scrutinize, you're gonna get this if you do anything that's gonna be they feel distasteful in public.
And that's the thing. Did he know it was distasteful when he did it? Did she know it was distasteful to them? Again, it's the eye of the beholder. They did something regular, normal, didn't hurt anybody. So if someone else deemed it distasteful and the pressure went to the company, it's not like the company was like, yo, that was distasteful. There was pressure that was put on them to do that.
And that's what happens, though.
Lost their job.
That's what happens, though, Nick. You know, my thing is, we know as people, when we make a decision to do something, we kind of know how close we cutting to what something can happen from it. You know what I mean?
Do we? Do we know that?
Oh, we do. We do. Okay. Honestly, we can't say that we don't, because people that make those decisions to do that, you can think in your mind that, well, hey, I don't think yeah, you do. You sit there and think that something like that is going to be okay, and you work for this type of company. Come on. You can't tell me you didn't know. I disagree.
I disagree.
I'm just saying,
Ken, I need you back in camera because you keep sliding out the camera.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Here you go.
I'm just saying, I can't see where if I was an ESPN analyst and I sat there and had some kind of something like that going on in my backyard, and it's all his name. Ain't no way I could see, knowing what I do for a living, that if somebody was to see this, that I wouldn't get in trouble.
Okay,
maybe not probably, but I knew
I got an example for you. I got a good example for you.
Go ahead, give me one.
You like cigars?
Exactly.
Okay, let's just say you work for ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
You kicking it. Your cousin's on here. Hey, Ricky, and my
brother
Ray. Hey, Edward. So you kicking it, you and Ricky and Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all will sit back, kicked up by the lake, smoking cigars.
Okay.
Someone takes a picture or video footage of that.
Okay.
Sends it to ESPN and starts talking about how you are polluting the air.
Okay.
How you are causing cancer. You are killing the ozone. Like, they make a compelling statement, a compelling case on why you should now be fired. Now, you were with your cousins kicking it by a lake, smoking a cigar. That has nothing to do with ESPN.
Got you.
Absolutely nothing to do with a cancer patient. Y'all are not thinking about the ozone or nothing. But because of that, it's not a hearing that takes place. They don't call you in for a conference to get your side of the story.
Right.
You are immediately fired. And that's the point that I am making. Phylicia did not get to go and sit down with Howard University representatives and talk to them. Paul Pierce didn't get to have this conversation. These people were fired.
Well, she wasn't fired, though. They just asked her to hand in resignation.
They are wanting to take. She was just made dean of fine arts.
Yeah, I'm saying
why is she not qualified above many to do that? But now, without getting to have her say, getting to explain her side, it's being decided by someone else, because it was already decided by someone else that what she said was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel you on that one, because
that's the point I'm making.
Something like that effect, and I understand everybody should get their say. You're right. Everybody should get their say. Like, Paul honestly should have got a say if that's the case. But I mean, we got to understand sometimes in situations we catch this when we're dealing with certain situations that it can happen. Right. I look at the situation with the cigar, but I'm pulling that out there. I would say, hey, yo, really? That's what y'all going to do? But hey, you know what? If that's the way y'all feel,
thank you, William. Go ahead.
I would say that, but I mean, it's just how it is. We gotta understand this is the world today that we live in.
But that's my problem. That's the point, Ken. How can you understand the world we live in when the rules are made up as we go?
But
Ken, I don't like your hat today, so you're fired. You're no longer my co-host. I don't give you a chance to explain. Nick, this only had a head. This had my wife just gave me and asked me the word today, like without explanation, because William says blue offends me. I've never liked blue, so blue offends me, and I think you should get rid of King. So because William is offended, and I really want to keep him as a viewer, or a listener or keep it support, I'm going to fire you. That is the culture that we have become, and that's not fair.
No, it's not fair. I never said it was fair. I never said it was fair.
And you don't know that it's wrong for you to wear that blue hat. You just unknowingly put on your blue hat and get fired the same day.
But then you get, you know what I'm saying? We know the culture we live in, and that's when we have to make our own path. But it's always been trial and error. We know this as people coming into any situation that we do, and when we get, you know what I'm saying, when we get put in a position, put in a place where this is how we define you, that's when we have to make our own, you know what I'm saying, direction, because we know we're gonna get rated differently. You already know this, Nick. We're gonna get treated differently. Period. It's always gonna be like that until we understand that, hey, this is our lives, unless we want to change the narrative.
I understand. And guess what? Changing the narrative have gotten people fired. And that's the point. That's my point.
And it's not going to be the last time.
You can get fired just for being innocently you, not harming a fly. But if somebody else deems it wrong, and I don't think we should have to go walking around on eggshells.
Oh no, we shouldn't have to.
You should check yourself and do self-inventory. But I can see if these people had actually done something wrong.
When they sign that check, Nick, that's what happens. When they sign that check, that's what happens. They call the shots. And that's just like, you know that. If I'm calling the shot, if it's my business, I'm running this business. And if I feel that's the problem, then you got to go. Then who's going to say something to me? I'm running stuff. And that's the attitude that they have. They're running the show. You want to be a part of the show and get on stage, listen to what I tell you to do. Either do it or you don't.
But King,
Nick, we know they right, Nick.
Nobody told them not to do it, and they did it anyway.
Well, see, Nick, that's the thing. My thing is that's when you have to take value of yourself and think about, okay, I understand who I'm dealing with. Let's understand who's always in charge for the most part. Let me put that in place and think about the decision I'm getting ready to do on this stage.
Now, I told you when you said that to me. How do we not know that a whole lot of those executives from ESPN have not been in many of those parties with him? Wait a minute. So if that's been the normal, they've been kicking it with you too. They just happened not to be there that day. Then was it ever wrong?
Hey, it's the thing. Who's in charge? See, again, Nick, here we go. I'm just trying to.
But it looks like Pam agrees with you, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, because that's how, Nick, this has always been the narrative. It's like you being an E8, you being an E5. Or E4, I say I'm a non-commissioned officer, you not. I'm partying with you, kicking it with you. One time you get something doing something, and you say, "Who gonna catch it? Not me. I'm the E8. You're behind is the back forward. This is how it goes. You can't do what I do. As an executive, you can't do what I do.
I hear you.
So, but I'm just saying it's never been fair. But that's how life is, and people need to really understand when you take these roles and you put yourself in positions. Understand who's in charge, who's signing the check. Look at them. And think about, okay, you think I'm going to get called out on this? I don't care. Because when you're around them, they do what they want to do. You can't do what they do. When you around right then, it's all good. When you ain't around, you better keep it to a minimum. Because believe me, they'll do it like this. How you do the throw the hand behind your back, hold your hand. Hey, sometimes they ain't got to. Sometimes they ain't got because I run stuff.
I don't agree, but I'm
Nick, you ain't got to agree because I don't agree.
I know I don't. I don't agree.
But I ain't got to agree. But you know what? I know the reality of it. I seen it. I've been in it. That's the reality of it. And it's never going to change, Nick. It's never going to change when you're in that position. Okay. It doesn't. We can always do
well, we both just gave our point of view. You gave yours.
As we do.
Our listeners have given theirs. We have a new comment from Mr. Ray Betroy, you see. That is my brother, hey, big brother. We are a people of color, Black Wall Street. Those people did nothing. Look what happened to them.
Exactly.
I understand that.
There you go.
I understand it. Still don't make it right.
It's never gonna make it right. It's never gonna make it right. So
it doesn't make it right, and I stand on that. That woman should have been able to. I'm not going to talk about the past president, but she should have been able to tweet what she wanted to tweet. She was not disrespectful.
Right. Exactly.
She was not hateful.
Exactly.
And the position she finds herself in. Oh, you have another comment that says, "I just believe it's wisdom." So. Pam is in agreement with you. And so for the rest of you that are watching, what are your thoughts? Oh,
thank you.
Lord Jesus,
definitely
sorry.
Give us some thoughts.
Should Phylicia Rashad should she have received backlash and potential losing her position because she supported or she tweeted that support of Cosby? Now y'all see our conversations behind the scenes. They are usually way heated than this. Usually way more heated than this. You ready to go to the next one?
Yes, indeed.
All right. I'm going to save the vacation one for last.
Yeah, please do that. Please do that. That's gonna be hype. So please.
That's gonna be here for real.
Yes.
Go ahead, King.
Have you ever been in relationships that have upgraded you or challenged you to be or live better? Yes, indeed. Hit it with us, Nick. Tell me about your situations with that.
All righty. I have been in relationships that have upgraded me. And I've been in relationships with people that have really challenged me just by their lifestyle, right? Wanted me to, it compelled me to want to be better.
Right.
I would say this, every relationship that I've been in has upgraded me. Even if it left me with a broken heart at first, if it left me depleted, if it left me with zero stuff, zero money, whatever it was. And the reason why it upgraded me is because it caused me to get better. It made me examine me, the choices I was making, how I felt about myself, that I was in those situations, whatever it is. And it caused me to work harder and to become better. So yeah, every relationship I've been in has been an upgrade. I will share one. I remember this man, he made quite a bit of money. And his philosophy on the way he paid bills, the way he invested, the way he spent his money really caused me to think, because I hadn't been with anybody like that. First of all, that made that kind of money. Secondly, that really believed in building wealth. And so it really caused me to look at myself in those areas. So that would be one of my examples. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, some people who used to tell me to talk about, I actually target women today, when I was dating back in the day, women that was on that level. I always felt that, hey, that's like about the positivity thing. If you want to have positive vibes, if you want to see yourself grow, be around positive people, that was my thing. So if I got a relationship that I felt that, okay, I want her to mirror me with my attitude, but can bring more to the table as well, to upgrade me, to think differently about certain situations, then I would do that. My thing is, I had people that I helped them the same way. Like if you wasn't organized, I was organized. So you learned that from me. If I felt that you can handle money a little bit different than me, then I took that from you. So there was, like you said, there's different things I've taken for each relationship that's upgraded me to know that, okay, when I look at this one here, then that's when I target as far as to see that in that person, or see what else I can learn from that and enhance the relationship. So yeah, I've definitely been in, a few of them that I've seen, and then too, I've been in some that did, but we ain't gonna discuss on that. Okay, it's a different topic. But for the most part, I do look for that because it enhanced both of us. I always bring something to the table. You bring something, and it's an upgradable situation because like you said, you learn from it, and it enhances your life on a whole lot of levels. You know what I'm saying? From socially conscious to spiritually, to emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, finance, being able to save, being able to know how to strategically plan, and just a whole lot of different things that you don't think about on a regular. But when you with that person, you see how they move. You're like, okay, it seems like they got together. Organization has been my main thing. If anybody learned anything from me, Nick, is organization.
Nothing else, they're going to be a good organizer. Y'all break up, they have some great organization skills.
Exactly,
William said earlier, at least a discussion, not immediate resignation talk. Yes, that's on our first topic.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he says that his wife definitely pushes him daily.
Amen. That's what's up.
Amen. So question to you and to the audience. Have you ever been with somebody that made the way you saw yourself and you thought about yourself elevate?
Yes, I have.
Sometimes we go into relationships, you're either on one end of the spectrum where can't nobody tell you are not the you know what,
right?
Or you got real low self-esteem and everybody needs to encourage you.
Exactly.
So, but then you get with somebody and they just build you up till you get to the point where you see yourself differently.
Exactly.
Have you had that?
Yeah, I mean, I've had people see things in me that, it's like when you see things in yourself, but somebody else sees it, helps motivate you even more. Because I mean, you basically, you look at yourself, you basically know what you're competent of and what you're capable of. But sometimes when somebody else can recognize it and give you a little bit more feedback on it, it gives you a little bit more confidence of pursuing it, of actually moving in that direction. So when you get that, if you understand, motivation is anytime somebody tells you, hey, I guarantee you, if you put forth the effort to do this and that, you'll be great. You know what I'm saying? You'll do this, and they see it in you, sincerely, and you already know you got the traits, because most people don't deal with people that ain't got traits, that ain't got no kind of mobility about them as far as their life and want to move forward. because you know everybody you can't always get the project. It's kind of time out for projects. You know what I'm saying? And I've been there, done that. I mean, I'm just saying everybody's had a project. Everybody's had experience with somebody they felt that.
Have you? Let's keep it real. Have you been a project? Keep it real. Have you been a project?
Honestly, let's be honest. I don't feel I have, because when I come to the table, I'm already there. So for them to think that I was a project, they had a problem, because I ain't never been a project. I've always been on a level from the time I left New York City and moved to North Carolina. Always been like that, military, the whole nine. So I've never been a project. If anything, we met at the table evenly, or some like we talk about some situations were a little bit different, where you enhance me, I enhance you. For me to be a project,
can y'all hear that sound?
Oh my God, I don't know where this is coming from.
And we are so sorry.
Oh yes, because that's like I said, and it's just
I'm just laughing at you when you said that you were not a project.
Yeah, because I understand that point. I understand when people have been projects, and you know what I'm saying, I've had a project where I just felt that, you know, getting in her life or getting, you know what I'm saying, I can really do something for them, bring them to a certain level.
Okay,
and she says crackling. And Nick, I don't understand when it's crackling, because it was fine going up and nothing's, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand.
It's okay. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
But if it gets too bad, y'all, please let us know, because we can actually oh, thank you, Jesus. It stopped. I have probably been a project. They probably didn't see me as the word project, but I think anytime someone is literally transforming your life and putting a whole lot of blood, sweat, and tears into you, you probably have been one. Now, there's another way we can look at the word, and that would be investment. Someone investing in you. Now, I would say project would be more when someone is putting more into you than you even trying to put into yourself. They are literally changing the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you move around. But if they weren't doing that and pushing you, you would be doing nothing. That's more of a project. Investing in someone that you believe in,
that's
and
totally
that
different.
You know just hasn't seen something different or hasn't been taught differently, that would, to me, would be more of an investment, because there will be a return.
Oh yeah, that's totally different from project.
Even if the relationship doesn't stay, the return will be you literally get to see that person elevate or get upgraded. I can honestly say it wasn't even in the way someone talked to me, it was the way they treated me years and years ago that literally upgraded the way I not only saw myself as a woman, but I started looking at relationships. And that is why I am the way that I am now about relationships and how I allow a man to treat me. Because when someone treats you a certain way, good or bad, that's what you look for.
Yeah.
But you mess up and get somebody that treats you differently, good or bad, you know it immediately. So if you had the bad treatment for years or all your life, and somebody comes on and treats you good, you don't go back to bad.
No.
Bump the black, you never go back. Good, you never want less than that. So I will say that for me. And William says he's not gonna lie, he was a project.
Hey, bro, don't take it. Hey, bro, I understand it happened, and there's nothing wrong with that, because you learn from that. My thing is, when I invested in the project, it's like you said, you get nothing out of it unless they grow. So like you said about the investment, you're going to get a return. In the project, you're not, but you're just hoping that they grow from that. And then some of them just couldn't see it, and it happens. You know, you just because I mean, I just couldn't believe in some cases, Nick, when you said where people get treated so jacked up bad, and then you treat them right, that they don't go back. Some of them don't even know how to receive it, and I think that was like the hardest thing for when I'm like, okay, if I'm opening doors, you never had your doors open. I'm opening doors for you. Why did you pop up with, I know how to open doors myself? I'm like, huh? Do you not understand what I'm doing? When I open the door for you, it's showing a sign of respect. It's showing that I respect you as a woman, as a person, and you deserve this. Let me open the door.
I'm gonna need you to. It's the whole stain for that.
But I'm just saying.
But that's a mindset, though.
Huh?
Yeah, that's a mindset, though.
But it still comes from you're not getting that treatment, which you deserve as a woman, as a person. So it's like once you get that, and then the flowers. Now you talk about the flowers. If you ain't never got no flowers, oh my God.
Y'all can send me flowers. Nikki
loves I'm saying the reactions.
Fresh flowers. Take a note for yourself. I love fresh flowers.
But I'm just saying the reactions that you get when you never had them before, and somebody gets them for you, It's like, wow, like, but my thing is, I think the thing I look at niggas like, why do you not think that you don't deserve that as a woman first?
Now, King, no.
But I'm just saying, Nick,
I can tell you where that mindset was.
And I understand that, Losa, I understand, but it's like you would think, but then again, I have to think, depending who you're around, who you learn from, who you brought, you know what I'm saying, to see that women getting treated unfairly, that's all you see, then I understand that you don't know how to come, you know, how to really appreciate that.
This is where investments will come from, though, King. So
right.
if you care about her enough or him
Right.
enough, you're going to keep investing and doing that, because you'll begin to realize it's not that they are rejecting what I'm trying to give. They don't know how to receive it. And then if you really dig and talk to them, you'll find out why.
And like, believe me, that's what I'm saying. The investments I made, that's how I learned, and that's how I was able to incorporate that into them. And like you said, so that's when I upgraded them. So they knew they not to get nothing beneath the dude that they just had, which was me. You know what I'm saying? So they knew. They, you know, if a brother would.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man lacks no confidence.
Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, they know when somebody pull up to pick them up, bro, don't be blowing no horn. You better come to that door. Or brother, don't think I'm standing here for my help because you ain't opened that door yet. That's what I brought to the table for them. So that was that upgrade, and that was just the basic ones. You know, I mean, as far as the basic steps of showing them this is what you deserve, period. Nobody needs to be blowing no horn for you to come out to no car. Nobody needs to be just going around getting their door and you got to open your own door. No. You're a grown woman, get treated like a grown woman, sweetie. And that's the way I invested.
Sorry about that popping. It's starting to go away. Yeah. So here's a good one. Here's a really good one.
Okay, Pam says, you gonna read that or me?
No, go ahead, King.
Okay. What about helping men and women that don't know what character of upgrade is? Oh, believe me, I understand.
Is that crackling is so loud? Read it one more time, a little bit louder.
I said, what about helping men or women that don't know what characters of upgrade is?
That's good.
That's good. Yeah.
That's good.
And it comes from, like you said, when you meet the women or men and you actually let them know the difference between where you are at or where you were to where I'm going to take you to. You know what I'm saying? When you show them the elevation of what you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, up until this is how you should be treated. This is what you should expect to be treated like. Yeah. So definitely.
You know what, King? On what Pam said and to what you just said, I would say show and then tell.
All right. Well, that's what
somebody that doesn't.
Right.
Somebody that doesn't know what it means. You talking about it is just talk.
Right.
They probably have had so many people who have said stuff that they didn't actually back up on or do. So you're just talking. Just show. Sometimes you just have to show the love. You have to show the action. You have to show, and then you teach and tell along the way, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, a woman that you want to give flowers for, because that's the way you want to express it. And them flowers turn into potpourri, they never even make it to the vase. And you try to tell her, well, this is what women like, and you should like this. And that's not gonna mean anything. But if you continue to be consistent with it, one of these days you're gonna come home, she's gonna have those flowers cut, snipped, and inside that vase beautifully decorated. But along the way, if you explain why that's important to you, why it's important for you to do it for her, why you think she's worthy of it, or whatever it is, eventually it begins to sink in. But we're gonna get your comments. Y'all got some good comments coming through. But trying to force someone to believe the way. Oh goodness, sorry about that, y'all. Can y'all still see me?
Nope, not now.
There we go. It's the back. Yeah. Trying to force someone. We told y'all about the technical issues. Trying to force someone to be what you want them to be, and they come from a place where there's so many onions and layers that have to be removed because of what they've experienced and gone through, will frustrate the heck out of both of y'all. Just stop talking sometimes and just show. And there's going to be moments when you can tell along with show. Let's hit these comments real quick and then we'll go ahead. Oh, he was talking about you and the horn.
Not the horn. Yeah, paying bills, staying on a job, being consistent. Oh, yeah. Always definitely got to, you know what I'm saying, show an example. You know what I'm saying, show by example with that type of situation. And I mean, when I said that, Nick, I was just meaning when I talk, I always show. But I was just explaining then the process of the whole thing. But yeah, I always show first. So you do get the idea. And then I go ahead and put that, you know, this is why. You know what I'm saying? When you bring up, but always you got to show, lead by example, show the example first. And then tell them, explain to why you should be, you know, privileged to this. You know, why you should expect this. I agree totally. Yeah, because he learned it from me. That's why.
Oh, that was me when I was talking. Thank you, sir. Good man. Pam says emotionally stable. Mentally stable, emotionally stable, and know how to be a listener, etc. That part, and
Yeah,
a lot
definitely.
of that is a lot of action too. That's the action. We have to become a people of action versus words.
Right.
I cannot tell y'all the stuff that's in my DMs. People saying that they want to do X, Y, and Z, and I just want to, but you do absolutely nothing to back it up. And at some point, you literally just kind of talking to yourself because I no longer hear because I listen with my eyes.
Right.
Alrighty, everyone should learn the other person's love language. I say it all the time.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
He hates that, but that is so true. If they have been healed and made whole, exactly.
No doubt.
And then your cousin.
Definitely agree with that.
Alrighty, y'all keep those comments coming. We're gonna get to the favorite topic of the day for King.
Nick, go
last segment. For some reason, my battery's down at 19% already. That's crazy.
Got to plug it up.
These phones. Here we go, King.
Alrighty, y'all. If someone asks you to go on and pay for you to take a vacation with them, all expenses paid, are you obligated to have sex with them on that vacation? Unspoken expectation, unspoken obligation. I got to say that one more time. Hold on. I can't go one more time, y'all.
Hold on. 1 second. King, 1 second. I noticed when the popping sound starts, if we stop talking for a moment, it'll go away. Okay, now go ahead.
If someone asks you to go on and pays for you to take a vacation with them, all expenses paid.
You have to read it like that.
Are you obligated to have sex with them on that vacation? Unspoken expectation, unspoken obligation.
All right, so here's the question. That question came to us because somebody was offered to go on a all expense paid vacation with someone else. Remember, they were offered to go. They were asked. But the expectation, mind you, unspoken expectation was, so we will still be, we will be sleeping in the same bed and having sex, right? And so the question is if someone is paying for everything, paying for the vacation, are you obligated? Even if y'all have not had conversation about it, are you obligated to have sex with them because they are paying for it? King.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so y'all know me by now that I'm outspoken. Y'all definitely know. So just to get in, just to piggyback on one thing Nick said, the key word, nothing was discussed. So that first and foremost, y'all, sets the tone. Nothing was discussed. So with that being said, if you are going to travel with this brother or this sister with all that going on, you can't tell me as you're on your grown man and grown woman stuff that you don't think that you're going to have to knock some boots in that hotel room on that vacation. And I know anybody
probably a whole mouthpiece for me right now. Go ahead.
Anybody know I'm just being y'all. I can't get no realer than I am. I, as a man, can't sit here and say that if a woman invited me to, let's see, Turks and Caicos, Bermuda, Aruba, Italy, Rome, any of those lovely destinations. We talking about expense paid, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We talking about flying across the country, world, taking you to the exotic restaurants, fly rooms. Y'all stand and say, now mind you, y'all ain't said nothing. You ain't said nothing to this young lady before you left about, I'm gonna need a separate room because I ain't rolling like that. This is it. No, you ain't said that. So y'all get in a suite. Well, she got a suite, nice. We talking about California king, European king. They don't even make those. And y'all chilling. And she go, she like, okay, it's that time. You looking at her like, huh? Like, bruh, you can't sit here and look in that woman's face and think that she ain't want to get busy. And you think, well, I thought it was you ain't think, bruh, let's not get ignorant. You knew when she put the dollar down, she put the smack down on that you was gonna have to give up. And they're no different than women sitting here thinking, well, he's just being nice. There ain't nobody that nice in the world. Let's just be honest with that. You ain't said up front that this is just gonna be a trip that I'm gonna help you pay, or you ain't got the money right now. No, you knew when I made that trip and put all that in place, and you ain't said that you want your separate room. We gonna be separate, all right, after the fact.
Hold on,
because you already know what time it is.
Hold on, King. And I think the pop is coming from your side. Pull back a little bit and talk. Now
Okay.
It's still popping. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just
So,
speak up a little bit louder because it.
Okay, got you. So just just being straightforward and frank, y'all. My thing is subliminally, you just probably you want to get that. You know what? See, you know what, my cousin.
Keep talking.
You know what? I'm not going to answer that right now. I'm not going to.
Keep your statement. I want you to finish laying your plane because I want to make mine before you go forward.
So what I'm saying is, y'all. Bottom line, a woman knows and a man knows if this trip is put down like that and there's no kind of arrangements made up front, you know what the plan is. If you don't, you can't sit here and say, no, it's not being real. You're not being truthful to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. You know what she had on her mind. You know what he had on his mind. Now, with that being said, Nick, let's hear your POV.
First of all, it's the whole stank coming from you to me. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You like to lay out the whole Bermuda and all that. Listen,
that's what I do.
The man could take me to heaven.
Okay.
All the way to actual heaven. And I am still not obligated to give him anything because that's the question. Now, do I think he wants some? That's not the question. The question is am I obligated to have sex with him? I don't care about your own guys. I'm not. You can take me to heaven to talk to Jesus and have dinner with him. I'm not obligated to do anything. If you offered for me to go on vacation with you and you were paying for everything, that was your offer. Now, if we had a prior discussion, Nick, if I take you and I'm paying for everything, then boom, bada boom, and I still go, then that's totally different. We have no conversation about it whatsoever, and because you decided to pay for everything and invite me and treat me, which I appreciate. Lovely trip to heaven. I'm not obligated to do anything, absolutely anything with you. And that is the question. Not if two grown people know what somebody feels, what they want. That's not what the question is. The person had the issue because it was a whole obligation. They got to the vacation and it was like, and she was like, what? You said we were going to have a good time. We were planning the exhibits. We were planning the places we were going to go. So if that was heavily on the brother's mind and his intent, why was that not a part of the plan and the discussion?
Nick, you don't think she knew? You don't think she knew?
I'm going to say it for the people in the back because the people in the comments here, but you obviously do not. And we've had this conversation twice.
You know what?
It's not about somebody knowing. It's about the obligation. That was the question. Am I obligated to give you sex because you're taking me on a vacation and you're paying for it? Absolutely.
Okay, you know what? I actually agreed to the part of
no, you didn't. No, you did not.
Nick, I did say as far as are you obligated? I did say, remember I said as far as obligation, that word, no, you're not obligated. But you can't sit here and tell me as a grown woman and a grown man that you don't intend, that's not a part of that, him paying for everything. That's
the
what I'm saying.
intention, okay, I'm going to say this one last time. The intention and what two grown people know is not the same as someone being an obligation. You can be sued because you don't keep up with your part of the obligation. That's what we're talking about. It's not an obligation for me to give you any of my deliciousness.
And I understand that.
You are paying for the trip.
I understand you're not. I believe you.
I'm going to give it to you. And then we get there and you're looking at me crazy. I'm looking at you crazy. But this was unspoken. It was not talked about. And they went on this trip. And oh boy, and matter of fact, part two of the question that we're not talking about is this. When you get there and you do not give up the love.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are you responsible for making sure you find your own way home? Now that's jacked up.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong, Nick. Nick, that's jacked up. But see, my thing is, let's be clear, like you said about the obligation. Okay. My thing is, you got. First of all, if I'm not thinking that, and I'm thinking that, why are you taking the trip anyway? If I'm paying for everything, you don't think I expect that. Let's be real, because that's what I'm saying. You know, and women know, just like men know, we expect that if I'm paying for everything, and ain't no woman, no sugar mama, is gonna sit there and pay for a brother and not expect that she's paying for everything. You can't say that. So my thing is,
hold up. Here's a question for you, King. Thank you, Ricky. What if it was just friends? Then what?
But that's when you sit there and you understand that point of view. If it's just friends,
you should understand the point of view.
No, Nick.
King. You offered, not you because you married. Ricky offers to take me on a vacation.
Okay.
Ricky, I'm gonna go to Hawaii. I would love it if you accompany me. Don't worry about. Really? Don't worry about. I'm taking care of everything. I just want to go and have a really great time. We can go snorkeling. We can go swim with the dog. Like, we're talking about the whole itinerary. I'd love to go, Ricky. Thank you. So when we get there, Ricky comes knocking on my door, looking like, and I'm looking at him like, and so now because I got to find my own way home because I knew that I was obligated because I say yes. The devil is 2 lies and 3 lies. No.
Well, see, Nick, I understand that point. Like you said, friends. First of all, Nick, unless I'm banking and I'm rolling like that, I'm not taking a friend to Hawaii. I'm not taking a friend to Italy.
Okay, so basically, this is how your mindset.
No, Nick, I'm thinking, no. See, it ain't just my mind. We talking about grown men that sit there and take a woman that he's feeling. Because mind you, like I said before, we talking about the conversations that was going on before the trip. We talking about the whatever messages. So you already anticipate mentally that I'm trying to feel you. You feeling me, whatever. So then I talk about the trip. I say, yo, let's go to such and such. Once you agree, Nick, and you know we vibing, you can't sit here and say that when I get there, oh, what you mean, oh, what? Don't even sit here and trip. We don't have conversations about us kicking it. So now you want to get all new? Now, mind you, I ain't the type of brother that will leave you and not pay for your way back.
Pause, King, because you got a lot of cracking.
Okay. I'm not the kind of brother that's going to make sure that you can't get home or put you out the room and that. I'm not that dude. But believe me when I tell you, once we get back to the States or whatever, please go your way. Do not call me again. Do not holler at me again about nothing because you knew when I was trying to reach out to you and holler at you, you was feeling me, I was feeling you. So then you want to take advantage of the trip, enjoy it, and then go look at me sideways.
Wait, pause. I'm so sorry. Take advantage of the trip? Dude, you offered. How's somebody taking advantage of it if you're offering?
You know what I'm saying? Even if I offer and you say, and you don't say, and we've been vibing, that you say, well, you know, William, I mean, I'm feeling you, but I mean, I want this to go slow. So is it okay if we have separate rooms and just take it slow? I can respect that.
Okay, and then love, guess what I can respect?
What's that?
If your investment in getting some is so this is why you offering to go and take me to heaven, Hawaii, or whatever, because ultimately you're expecting some. The same way you're expecting the woman to say, oh, by the way, if you're wanting some, no, he should say that too.
Why?
You're telling me everything else we're gonna do. You're telling me everything else. Why not saying, by the way, we're gonna have the same room, and I'm expecting we're gonna get our boogie on.
You already understand. I ain't got to see. That's the thing. I ain't got to say that.
To have to be the one to say
I ain't got to say that. You already know because I done had conversations with you on the phone at night and stuff. So
and according to those conversations, you felt, if we don't, I mean, you brought it up. You felt that the woman should be the one to talk about this obligation.
I didn't say you're obligated to talk. You can subliminally understand. You ain't got to say nothing.
Why
you just going because you're going on with the whole process. By you not saying your piece or saying that you going with the process. So that tells me that you're with it. You're in agreement. So I feel that something's gonna happen because you ain't said nothing different. And I'm paying for the whole trip. You ain't paying for a dime. Nothing come out your pocket. So don't tell me I'm taking you to Italy and you ain't paying for Jack and you don't think I expect something. You know we was conversating on the phone.
Okay, well, we're going to go to the comments, but it's not expectations. And what I know, it's the obligation is the key word. Am I obligated? And I'm absolutely not obligated. I don't care how much you spend it. If real talk, listen, to all of you, male or female, if this is what you're doing, if this is what you're doing and you're doing it for that motive, you're going to be grown enough to do it, be grown enough to have a grown person conversation and communicate your desires and your wants. But making somebody obligated, child, please. All right, you want to read that one?
I would. I would.
Autocorrect got him.
I said, what if we hadn't got busy before the trip? So if it happened, cool. If not, let's communicate and be adults and be respectful. That's my whole thing. That's all I'm saying.
That's not your whole thing. You said it should be assumed and given.
No. I said if we talk about it before we go. Okay, Rick, you know what?
Ricky
Please,
says
you know what, Rick,
everybody's mind is not like yours. Thank you, Rick.
Rick, you know what? Rick, I don't want to hear it.
Don't get mad at him. That's his POV. My brother said I would say this. Sorry. Go ahead, read that one.
Not deliciousness.
Yes, I did call it deliciousness.
I'm just saying, Nick, we understand.
Hold on, some more comments.
Rick,
hold on.
Yeah, Rick laughed. He know. I'm sorry, so you had not let your lady handle this one. Oh, whatever, man. This is what we do, baby. This is what we do. So I understand her point, and I know this is how we do. That's all love that we show when we talk about these POVs. But all I'm saying is, Nick, I respect women to the fullest. Don't get me twisted. What I'm saying is, in the part when I wasn't married, and if I put out that carpet and you want to walk across it, you know what was at the end. And listen, I'm saying, you know what, but I'm saying as far as obligation, don't get me wrong. I understand obligation. You're not obligated to do nothing for me. But once you don't say anything and we vibing, you pretty much know, okay, he's going to expect something. I need to let him know before we go. But no, some women just
once again, you have put it off on the invitee.
Well, you know what? You get invited to go on a trip like that, you know what's up. Women say what they want to, they know what's up. Just go say they know what's up.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is today's episode of Their POV.
Yes.
And what I love about our relationship and this podcast as well is we don't always agree. We don't agree on a whole lot of stuff. We will try to hash out to make the other person agree, and it still won't happen. No, all jokes aside, I love the fact that you can have your difference of opinion. I can too.
Yes.
Our family in the comments are throwing theirs out there too. Some of y'all have that hilarious one, but they've all been really, really good, and we really appreciate you guys. We are wrapping up this show at this point. I'm on 6%. Have no idea why my battery is draining so quickly. I guess the topic was so hot, even my phone is.
That's what it was, Nick. That's what it was.
So, Ken, go ahead and give your last minute thoughts as we get ready to close it up.
Okay, everybody. You know, we talked about the Bill Cosby situation. We talked about the upgrading relationships, and we talked about, are you obligated? You know, my thing is, y'all know y'all opinions on everything, y'all thoughts, and it's however you want to set it up. You know, me, I give my point of view because I've done situations like that, so I can relate, and you know that's just how it goes. But other than that, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. This is how we do. We want y'all to come back and give y'all thoughts, your comments. You know, I love all y'all. I'm glad y'all support the show. I love doing this. You know, Nikki told me years ago about doing this. I'm like, I don't know. And she told me, that I would enjoy it. And hey, ever since we started, I've been putting time in and really just getting involved. I need to get more involved, but the parts that I do, I enjoy it. I'm gonna get more. But we're glad that y'all do show up. We're glad that y'all do give y'all opinions, y'all give y'all thoughts and comments, and we love y'all for that. And with that being said, the king is out. Have a good week, y'all.
Ricky says if a young lady invites you to church.
He's killing me. You see, he's killing me. He's killing me.
William says, thank y'all for a great episode. Thanks,
Will, for listening in, bro.
Y'all always help us to be great.
Yes.
And we love y'all. We love sitting down with family, having dinner at the table, talking.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
I need to be sitting in your chair, sir.
No, Rick, you can handle this. Yeah.
Well, listen, I got 3%. Let me hear it.
Oh, yeah.
So real quick, if you guys have not shared, please be sure to share. If you have a topic that you want us to discuss, or if you're interested in co-hosting with us for a segment, please email us at nickandking@gmail.com. Y'all, if y'all have not liked us on Facebook or Instagram, I just don't understand why.
Me either, Nick. What's the problem?
I don't know. We love y'all at POV with Nick and King at Instagram and on Facebook. Y'all, you can watch the replays on YouTube.
Yes.
And the audio for just a little bit longer on SoundCloud. But don't forget about your girl on the Obstacle Overcomer podcast. You can find me on SoundCloud, Buzzsprout. I have a new website coming out if Google will finally get it together. But anyway, you can also find me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Libsyn, and Instagram and Facebook. Come on over, join the family, like me over there, become one of my Overcomer family members. We are on the show with a word for the week. I know, okay, with a word and today our word is going to be respect. Listen, respect yourself and respect other people, respect your respect your hearts, respect what they may be in life. When you are doing things, when you're in relationships with them, when you're communicating with them, respect. Treat others how you want to be treated. And I will say this, whatever you feel and you stand on it. Don't let anybody change how you feel or your morals against something. If you need to change because you know you're really stubborn in the area, you need to work on that, do that. But otherwise, stand for what you feel is right. All right? So we are done. We are out.
Yes, I am.
We are done. We are out. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We have a bye Nikki comment. Bye, Ricky. All right, so we are out until next week. As always,
peace.
Keep ringing.